Hey YouTube, Joshua the Window Cleaner here with another giveaway night. Welcome. It is Friday again. As you know, we do this every Friday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time zone. That's California time zone. So it's 7 o'clock for me. So, my wife was due this week. I recorded this show a couple weeks early. So at this point, I'm hoping that my wife has had the baby and we are just doing great. I'm not sure what's going to be actually happening though. Like I said, I'm pre-recording a bunch of these giveaway nights. That way I can take time off with my wife and you still get to win tools and prizes because I did promise you every Friday night. So I try to get ahead of the game if I can. And so I got ahead of the game a little bit. So I'm actually recording this after the 34th night. So kind of gives you an idea. So I'm 2 weeks ahead. But yeah, so I think on the 34th night, you remember me saying I'm gonna stay up real late and do some shows. So you get the 36th, and I might even do another show after this. So it's real late at night for me, but it still is a Friday night. So Friday night. But this is what I'm spending my Friday night doing, being with you guys. So, I'm not 100% sure if I'll be in the comments. It just depends on really what's going on. If my wife is in labor at this time, obviously I'm not going to be able to be on my phone. I'm going to be holding her hand, telling her to push, and just telling her that everything's going to be okay and that everything's normal and everything like she wanted me to do. So that's hopefully what I'm doing right now, or or we already have the baby. We'll see. Or maybe she's still pregnant, very uncomfortable. But if she's still pregnant and I'm on these comments, y'all just be in prayer for her, please, because she's going through a lot, especially the past 9 months. This is her first pregnancy, so neither one of us have any kids, and so this is our first. So it's been quite the adventure, and we are very excited. We are currently going to be in an Airbnb, and if you want to know more about that story, what happened, go to the 34th show and watch that one. And you can see what all was going on at the time, which is why I had to pre-record these shows too. But it's cool because we'll get like a little vacation. I'm kind of looking forward to it. We're actually going to be leaving tomorrow as of, me recording this show. But anyways, I'm sorry, I'm probably confusing y'all with the time here. Maybe not. Maybe everybody gets it. All right, anyway, so just welcome to the show. If you haven't been here before, I would like to explain a little bit, and make sure you might even want to take notes on this. I'm not going to tell you why. But anyway, so if you win, or if you have already won, something from Window Magic Supply, please send me a picture with you and the squeegee or whatever it is. Just take a picture of you with it, please, so that I can send that to Window Magic Supply and they can have that and be able to post that on their social media. That gives us a little bit more exposure on here and be able to get us a little bit more tools, cooler tools, more expensive tools for you to try. So if you win for window cleaning resource, I need you to go and leave a review on their website. Please go on their website and leave a review. Windowcleaner.com is their website. Go on there and leave a review. So with Window Magic Supply, what you're going to do, you're going to leave a pic. You're going to send it to me. You're going to send me a picture of you with the tool. And then if you win from Window Cleaning Resource, send them a review. Go to their website, type in the review. So I told you like twice. So you got that. Even if you got to write it down. It's going to be really important for this show. Hint, hint. So you might want to know that. Anyways, so make sure to come back to this show on Friday nights. That way you can tell us your feedback on here. Tell us what you thought about the tools. Tell us what's going on in your life. How's things going? Whatever's going on. Like, we're here every Friday night. I hope that it's a good way to end your Friday night. Sean said it was a great way. So we got one person at least that is here every Friday and says thank you so much for the show. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you. And I'm going to go ahead and do the Window Magic Supply wheel right now. So I'm going to jump on this virtual wheel. And I'm not going to do a physical wheel this week. Probably won't do one next week. We'll see. Maybe I will do one next week. I don't know. But all right, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the Window Magic Supply spin wheel. Make sure to look at the golden letters above the spin wheel. That will tell you what to answer in the comments. And so answer that into the comments, and we will see who's going to win. I'm not going to say what number. It might be the first, might be the second, might be the third person to answer, might be the fourth or fifth person to answer. But we will see, and we're going to go ahead and jump to that spin wheel. So here we go. All right, congratulations, whoever you are. You have won the Mowerman Carbonator 2.0. Congratulations. This is a cool tool. I have not used this tool. It seems a little flimsy, but tell me what you think. This is really cool. I guess this could be an alternative. Throw it down. But it could be an alternative to the accelerator, I guess. But it looks pretty cool. It looks like one of the backflip things. It's got the Liquidator 2.0, and then it's got like a smaller looking mop on there. It's pretty cool. I have not tried this out. It feels good in your hand, though. I really like the way it feels. Seems like it's just a little bit flimsy, though. So let me know what you think about this. And you will definitely win a Window Magic Supply sticker, and you will also get a Joshua Window Cleaner sticker. So congratulations, whoever you are. Set those down to the side so I don't drop it again. All right, so I'm going to jump straight into the topics tonight. The topics tonight are managing family and business. I had somebody request this as well. But I'm only going to talk about this one topic, and then I am going to wrap up this show. So this show is not going to be too long. I'm thinking probably around 20 minutes is what I'm kind of going for. So I'm going to jump straight into it. So this is my opinion. This is what I do. I'm only telling you this so it can give you some ideas and just to kind of answer these questions, because I asked for these topics and people kind of give me ideas on what to talk about, and so I talk about them in my show. So if you want to know a topic, if you have a question, put it in the comments right now. I'll write it down, and then I'll be able to circle back around to it, and I'll have it on the show. So that helps me a lot, by the way, because then I can actually, especially when I'm doing shows back to back like I'm doing now, I actually have a few topics. So thank y'all for that. Anyway, so jumping straight into it, this is just what I do, okay? So family comes first. Let's say that. So family comes first over business. So you got God, you got my wife, you got my son, my parents, my church, my siblings, and my family. And that's like cousins and grandparents, like all that stuff. So that would be that. All that stuff comes first. So those issues, those are priority over the business. Now, business comes second, obviously, because that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about managing that. So I'm just kind of list that out a little bit and explain how I manage that. So the first in my business is God, and the second thing in my business is my family. The next thing in my business is my team. The next is my customers, and the next is my network. And like I said, this is a list of my priorities. This is what is priority. So I believe that God is the foundation to everything. And so, I love God more than I love my wife. I love God more than I love my business. I love God more than anything else. And so he comes first in both of those categories, even though they're first and second. He has to become first in both to me. Otherwise, I'm very uncomfortable. I'm very not confident because I'm not really confident in my own ability. I don't really lean on my own ability. I know that God's got me and that he's got me here for a reason. He's just going to be the center of my life and what my hope is in, and then I'm just going to stick to that. So God comes first. My wife, she comes first in the family side of it. She also comes first in the business side of it. But there are times where I'm spending time with my wife where I might have to do some kind of work. And so it might seem like that I'm putting my business or something else over my wife, but it just depends on the situation. It depends on what it comes down to. But at the end of the day, if my wife needs me more than my business, then obviously I'm gonna choose my wife. Like if my wife goes into labor while I'm at a job, I'm not gonna finish that job. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go help my wife and make sure she's. It just depends on the situation. So you just got to be careful on that and just make sure that your priorities in order and kind of know where you stand on this. And this would be good for you to even write down a list to yourself. And, if you're not into doing activities like that, then you don't have to. But if you are and you're taking notes or something like that, then, hey, this is what I would recommend. But, yeah, so then my wife comes second right under God. I love my wife more than any person or anything on this earth. I love my wife more. And that's just point blank period how it's going to be. And my son comes next. So my newborn son that should be here hopefully by now, but maybe not. We'll see. His name is Joshua Tyler. I'm going to call him JT maybe. I might call him Little Joshua. I might call him Tyler. I know my wife said she's going to call him Tyler. So, but yeah, I'm thinking about, I've called him Little Joshua a couple of times. I've called him JT. And I felt a lot more comfortable, I think, calling him Little Joshua for some reason. But anyway, so my son comes next. And he comes before, anything else besides my wife. You know what I mean? My wife's opinion is going to mean more than my son's, and my wife's going to come before my son at all times. That's just how it's going to be. And then the next thing would be my parents. I would say I would have to stick with my wife over what my parents say and all that. But that's just like I said, how I roll. And I'll still always be there for my parents and all that stuff. And I think that all this stuff is really important. Like I'll take off work to go and help my family. You know, it just depends. But I'll also be with my family and answer my phone if I need to do something with my business. It's just all about priorities. Everything's going to change. The situations are going to come and go, and that's just how it is. But yeah, so then the business side, under my parent, or actually my family side, under my parents would be my church. My church, the body to me, the body of Christ. We come together and we glorify God. That's just what we do. I love my church family. But I still would say that my wife and my son and my parents would be before my church family, even though I love my church family so much. And but it just, like I said, all this is basically priorities. This is how I manage those priorities. So when I talk about manage my family, manage my business, I'm talking about priorities, like what comes first. That way you know what to do when situations come and go. So after my church would be my siblings. Like I'd say my church is more important than my siblings even, because they are family, they are blood. But to me, my church family means more to me. I love my sister, I love my brother, I love my siblings 100%. And but when it comes to priorities, I would probably more lean on to what my church has got going on more. Like say if my family was to come into town, I would go to church. They can go to church with me. You know what I'm saying? I would not skip out just because they are here. Now, if something's happening, like the baby or something like that, I might not show up, but that's just because my wife and my son come before that, But when it comes down to it, if they're just coming out here to visit, I'm going to church, and they can go to church with me or not. Church comes before them, and then my extended family comes at the very bottom of all the family stuff. All the cousins, aunts, uncles, all that stuff comes very last in my family. So I still think about them and I pray for them. And there's a lot of them that are going down some rough roads right now, and all I can do is pray for them. There's not a whole lot I can do. I cannot extend my time and myself out there for them all the time to help them to do things like that. And so, like I said, it's just priorities. Just they're kind of at the bottom of the list. Now, if I ain't got nothing else going on and I can help them, booyah, I will. You know what I'm saying? Like if I feel led to help them, I will. But it's not gonna be a priority. It's got to be like everybody else on the list is doing good, I guess, which is very rare because everybody's going through a lot of stuff. Then it comes my business. God comes first. Once again, God comes first. That's my foundation of my business. So I always think about that. I know that God is helping me bring me to the right people at the right place at the right time, because that's what I pray for. And I ask God to guide me more towards His will and His word. So here lately, I haven't been able to read His word a whole lot. That's just been something that's been on my heart, and I've been convicted for. I feel like, to myself, I feel like, man, I should really be reading more. I should be in Scripture more. But I haven't. I've been tied up with worldly things, and it's just part of something that I'm going through, and I repent of that because it is a sin, and I want to come back to getting into Scripture more. So that's something that I pray for every day. God, please guide me towards Your will and Your word. So God comes first in my business, and then my family, and then my team. So if I'm out working and my family needs me, which is the list that we just went through, if any of those people need me, I'm gonna just quit working and do what I need to do. Um, and then my team is huge, and I put my team below my family, obviously, because my team would understand that family comes first, because I expect them. It's like when I tell Melissa, if her son falls and gets hurt while she's on the clock or something, I say, hey, clock out and take him to the hospital. Whatever you got to do, they come first. Your family comes first. And so I kind of teach that to my employees too. Like, hey, this is kind of the line we go in. The business is great and that keeps us going and everything. We got to spend a lot of time doing it. But at the end of the day, priorities. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your son's hurt, you take him to the emergency room. You don't wait on to talk to me or anything. Like, you figure out what you got to do for your family right then, and we'll figure it out after that. Now, Rob's a little different situation. He needs to let me know so that I can get there and go and fill in his spot. But I would still let him do that if his situation came up, something like that. So then my team would be after my family, and then my customers would come after my team. The reason being is my customers, they're really very important to me. That's how I make my business go. But I tell you what, whenever they come against my employees and they thrash my employees or something like that, I'm always going to stand next to my employees. And sometimes people might not agree with that, but it depends on the situation. If you have employees that have been with you for a while and you really know and trust what they're saying, is to be true, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, I know that Robert has done his best on so many jobs, and there's people that complain about it, which is ridiculous. And I'll bring Rob back out and show him what he did wrong and all that. But at the end of the day, I'm there to help Robert. I'm not just going to fire Robert because a customer told me I need to fire him. That ain't how it works, you know what I'm saying? Because I've had that happen. I've had a customer tell me I need to fire Robert. And I'm like, that is the best helper I've ever had. He has shown up on work every freaking day, not complained, been with me for 2 years. Like, he has been a huge blessing for me, and he works his butt off, and he gets better every single day at cleaning windows, and he loves what he does. He loves cleaning windows. So, it just depends on the situation. But yeah, I still would say, now if Robert, something happened later on in the future and he started stealing, and they had proof that he stole something, of course I'm going to go with the customer over my team on that, because they got proof and stuff like that. It's a totally different situation. But overall, I'm going to stand up for my team. If somebody's giving my team a hard time, I'm going to reach out to that customer and ask them why they're giving my team a hard time. That's just how it is. Like, I don't care if I lose a customer. I'd rather lose a customer than lose my team. That's just how it is. Like, I love my customers, but more people are going to call. The main reason why I've got these customers coming in, our price is going up and all that, so I can pay my team, pay my employees. It's super important. But anyways, yeah, so that's why my customers be below my team. And then my network. My network is super important, but I'd say my customers are more important than my network. So if you're spending money with me and you're spending money with my business, I'm going to be more likely out to help you than the people that I'm just networking with and referring and stuff like that. I'm going to be trying to go over and beyond. Now, if I network with you and you're my customer, then you're going to probably get above those people that are just my customers, and so that's just priorities, like I said, that I have lined out for my business. So I hope that explains the list that I would go down into, your priorities on managing your business. And the next thing I want to talk about is the time management part of it. We all have the same amount of time, but we must have priorities, just like I've been talking about this whole time. Here we are, 21 minutes. Dang it, I'm over it. But I'm going to try to get it to be maybe 30 minutes, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get off here. But anyway, so we all have the same amount of time, but we must have priorities. That's super important. There will be times where it seems the business will come first because of the time spent might be more time away from family, but use your business time to create more family time. When you're working, make the most out of your time. And when you're with your family, make the most out of that time. Always remind yourself to devote your time to both, and make sure that it's a fair scale. You need to spend time with your business to provide and create a lifestyle for your family. They work together like a machine, and it keeps you healthier and happier, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like, there's going to be times where the situation is going to come up where you might be on a date night. Now, I don't advise this, but when you're starting your business, you have to do what you got to do. And my wife helped me, and before we were married, like, she helped me in my office, stayed up late with me. She helped me do the books before I had a bookkeeper. When I was getting all this going, she helped me. And I kept telling her, it's not going to be like this forever. This is temporary. I'm going to get a secretary one day. It's going to be great. You're not going to have to do all this stuff. And then we'll be able to have more time to spend with each other. That's what your focus needs to be on, because family does come first. But if you don't build that business up, you ain't going to be able to spend that time with your family. It's just, you're always going to be working all the time. You got to go up on your prices. You got to be smart and think about the next day. Take it day by day. Take it one day at a time. But make sure you're thinking about that next day too. You're thinking about next week. That's why you got to be consistent on social media, even when you don't feel like it. It doesn't matter what you feel like. You got to remember that each day. You still have to live up to who you are. And all the noise and all the stuff that's going around you is not who you are. You are a certain thing, and everybody sees you this way, and you just got to stay into that. And you know who you are and stick to who you are. Keep that going, and that keeps your priorities going, and that tells you what to spend the time on, whether or not to spend the time on family or business at the time, which one is calling your name. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one is your priority? You're going to make your own priority list. You're going to make your own time list, but this was just my opinion. So I really hope that y'all enjoyed this show. That's the only topic I'm going to talk about tonight, but I'm going to jump straight into the window cleaning resource, spin wheel, so that y'all can win another prize. So here we go. All right. So we are going to choose the. We'll do the third person that answers that, and I don't think I was in the. I don't even think I said earlier on the other giveaway, or on the other spin wheel. But we'll do the third one on that one because we've been doing the third one on some of them. So congratulations, whoever you are, whoever answered that question correctly. This is very easy questions tonight, guys. I've been doing a lot of window cleaning questions. I decided to just mix it up and just help some people out and just, hey, I answered those questions at the beginning of the show, and I've answered them at the beginning of the show the past 4 or 5 shows. If you've been here, you know the answer to that. Very easy questions. So sometimes we'll have easy questions, sometimes we'll have hard questions, but hey, you're gonna be winning window cleaning tools regardless, and here you go. So I hope that y'all enjoyed the show tonight. I have really been working hard on this show, and I would really appreciate your feedback. If you see anything I could be doing different, you got any great ideas? I love hearing people's ideas. Like, I love ideas because they spark more ideas for me whenever I can do this show and make it more fun for you. So if you got an idea for the show, and I'm sure some people are like going to be like, bring back the physical wheel. I do have it, but I just didn't have it on this show. I really do like it though. It's like stress relief, like Sean said a couple weeks ago. Like, man, when you spin that wheel, man, like I said, I wish that y'all could just walk by and just spin the wheel because it's incredible. I almost want to bring it in the screen and spin the wheel real quick. I think I got a second before I close out because I'm gonna close out right at 30 minutes. So hang on 1 second because I'm gonna go spin the wheel and then we're gonna close this thing out just because it's fun. Okay. And because it's my show and I can do what I want to do. Oh, it's blurry. Bring it back. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna spin the wheel. Oh man, it's being lame. Let me try again. Yeah, it's just so satisfying, and it's got like a huge glare on it. But you're supposed to be able to write on it, write with like a dry erase. It's like a dry erase board. So in the future, I might still use this, but I just didn't use it for this show. So might use it in the future. I got 2 of them, so I could use it instead of the virtual wheel, but we will see. And I know some people are want to know what the color is going to be, so it looks like it's going to be green. So don't matter though. Nobody wins nothing on that one. That was just a spin the wheel. But I really like the wheel. I think it's a really cool thing. But yeah, so hope y'all enjoyed the show. Y'all have a blessed weekend. And if you pray, please just say a prayer for my wife if she hadn't had the baby yet. And if we have to have the baby, just be praying for both of us because I'm sure we're going to be wore out by now. So y'all have a blessed weekend. We'll see y'all next week on giveaway night. Peace out.